All right, good morning. This is the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. This, my friends, this is the Clay Edwards Show, and I'm, of course, the maitre d' of chaos, Clay Edwards. I don't know where I got that from, but I like it, so I'm going to continue to call myself the maitre d' of chaos. I don't really even know what that means, but it sounds good. It sounds good. All right, man, welcome in. If you guys want to chime in this morning, the Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line is 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. We got a big show planned. First segment, I'm going to do solo here, and I want to get some stuff out of the way. The second half of the show, or really about a whole show and a half, we're going to have Ashley Jones. I've had a brain fart there. Ashley Jones, a good friend of mine. She's going to be in. She's on Swamp People. Y'all know Ashley, one of the most famous female or hunters, period, male and or female in the country. A star of the Swamp People show. Star of the History Channel show Swamp People, and Central Mississippi native. And we're also going to have Ivana Williams in the studio with me. And there may be a third lady coming with them too. I can't remember for sure, but they're starting a new group called Sippy Girls, and it is to get young females into hunting and take them on hunting trips. And they're going to be doing a reality show and all sorts of stuff. So we're going to talk to them about that. That should be fun. But in the meantime, a lot has happened in the last few days, and we talked about a bunch of stuff yesterday. But yesterday we spent more so recapping the highway patrol trooper being cleared down there in Macomb, and Thomas eating his crow. So this morning, I kept wanting to get to the Jackson water stuff yesterday, and again, just kind of kept getting sidetracked. We had so many great calls yesterday. But let's talk about Jackson water real quick. I know the restaurant owners are all getting back together and going down to City Hall today for the council meeting to get, I don't know what they're going to try to do. I'm praying for them. You know, my buddy Lance out at Capitol Grill, just all parties involved. I hope they get more than they had last time, and they go down there and they can really voice their displeasure. You know, I saw the mayor in some grand opening pics from sometime in the last couple of days in a new bar that's opening on Capitol Street. Amazing facility. I don't make sure very clear here. I'm not knocking this place or anything like that. I pity people that open a bar, anything in Jackson that requires clean water, but kudos to them trying. But neither here nor there. He was at the grand opening, never misses a photo op. And I'm just thinking to myself, the audacity that it takes to go to the grand opening of a restaurant and bar while there's no water in your city. Look, man, you know, I run a big Instagram platform too, and the Save Jackson, and 90% of the followers there are, I would say, younger black Democrats in Jackson. I mean, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. It was one of my nightclub Instagrams that I converted over, so that was the demographic that was mainly following it because that's who we cater to, and that's cool. But I get a lot of kickback from them. They normally do not agree with anything I have to say about Jackson, is the point of this conversation. And I'm seeing what I would call normies. Normies are turning on the mayor and calling him out for being in movies with Bruce Willis. And they call it C-tier Tubi movies, which I guess that is Tubi's the new generic movie platform. I don't watch generic movies. I watch Ancient Aliens and good documentaries. What are you talking about, generic movies? Anyway, that's so sad. There was a time in my life where I would have been the first person in line to see a movie that was filmed in Jackson, Mississippi with Bruce Willis. And now I have zero interest because, more so than anything, that they put the mayor in it when the city is death and destruction. The day they were filming the scene downtown where it looked like a shootout there at the corner of in front of the governor's mansion on Capitol Street, there was a triple or quadruple shooting homicide in Jackson that very day while they were using police resources to film a similar scene. And then a couple of days later, there was actually a real life crime scene identical to that at that very corner. So it may not have been a couple of days later. Maybe it was a little before, or after, but neither here nor there. So the restaurant owners are going down there to City Hall. I wish them best. I don't know what they can get. I guess they're hoping for some money to help supplement having to buy all the bottled water. And because that's it. Jackson's not going to, they don't have the money to fix the water. It's a sad situation. I mean, some of them, they can hope to eventually get on the fairgrounds water well system. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. But other than that, I don't know what they do. I mean, find some more water wells around town. Try to get the whole city switched over to a well system, but good luck with that. Aside from the condition that the plant is in, the one in the Waterworks Curve there, I forget all the names of them. I think it's O.B. Curtis maybe. But the pipes in the ground are in terrible shape. I mean, y'all remember the ice storm from a couple of years ago, all of the water main breaks there were, and they're constant. So there was a water main break somewhere over in West Jackson yesterday. I don't know exactly where it busted at, but it was shooting poop straight out of a fire hydrant. I've never seen anything like it. A friend of mine is a business owner on Highway 80, and I don't believe these are related incidents because I'm not sure where the fire hydrant was, but somebody said that's the Farrell water plant there in Lakeland. Thank you on the Guns and Gear text line. A friend of mine owns a business on Highway 80. He filled up, and if you follow me on any of my social media platforms, any of them, you've seen this picture I posted yesterday. He poured some tap water into a Ozark bottled water, and it looks like brown pee. It looks like somebody who peed in it that's been getting like radiation therapy, chemotherapy. Really, really bright. I mean, just very bad looking. And it then a couple hours later, when it settled, you could see all the sediment in the bottom of the bottle. This came out of a tap in Jackson. And what did they say? We have crossed the Rubicon. If you are considering opening a business in Jackson, don't. I've got a text message I want to read, but I'll be dang if it's not on my phone, and I'm live streaming right now on Facebook, on the Save Jackson Facebook page, so I can't pull my phone up to show it to you. But long story short, a buddy of mine yesterday, a lady hit him and ran over his foot in her car yesterday. He calls the police, and long story short, the female cop in Jackson tells my friend, "You don't need to come to Jackson. These folks will kill you here." And I got an email from another guy who got robbed running Uber the other day, had his wallet stolen. He got to the police, this, that, and the other, and they told him that if he wanted to go back and find the guy, he could confront him. But they weren't going. This is JPD. Now, it's hard to confirm this type of information, but I trust these people that are telling me this because I know them not to be liars. They're not making this up just for poops and giggles. When the police are telling you don't come to Jackson, these folks will kill you, they mean it. I mean, listen to them. I got this saying. When crazy people tell you they're crazy, believe them. Because, we always look back after there's a mass shooting or somebody does something really crazy and like, where were the signs? Where were the red flags? And all you got to do is look on their social media or any other incidents they've had in their life, their arrest record, their interactions with friends and family, and the red flags were as big as they could be, waving back and forth. So I absolutely believe people when they tell me they're going to kill me or they want to kill me or they're going to blow something up or any of that, because most of them do. Or if they may not have the ability to, but they dang sure have the want. So, again, I tend to believe crazy people when they say crazy things. And I think it would benefit everybody to believe. Now, that don't mean you got to buy into their nonsense. It just means get the hell away from them. There was something else yesterday. I want to hit a lot kind of early here, kind of rapid fire this morning before my guests come on. Per usual, there's a lot of angry people over the Pearl Police pursuit policy. And Pearl finally came out yesterday. I say finally, it only took them a day. Pearl came out yesterday and released the details as to what happened, other than just the end result. Because when that's all you see, It's always worst case scenario. The world is on fire. And look, man, prayers for the fellow that lost his life yesterday. Apparently we have a lot of mutual friends. He was a biker around here. My condolences to the family. To the little piece of white trash that hit him, I hope you rot in hell. But I'm going to read this. This is from the Pearl Police Department. It says, Pearl, Mississippi police have arrested Ryan Irwin, he goes by nickname Storm, 29 of Brandon, after a pursuit Sunday night. Irwin is charged with felony fleeing resulting in death. He is being held without bond in the Rankin County Detention Center. A Pearl police officer attempted to make a traffic stop on a 2009 Silver Infiniti near the intersection of Bearderman Road and US 80 around 6:30 p.m. Sunday evening. The vehicle took off at a high speed race westbound on 80 and turned north onto 468 Flowwood Drive. The Pearl police officer continued pursuit, and the Flowwood Police Department was notified and joined the pursuit in their city limits. Irwin continued east. This is where it gets interesting here. Irwin continued eastbound on Flowwood Drive, crossing over Airport Road. Irwin pulled the Infiniti into the parking lot behind Academy Sports. Okay, so the pursuit technically stops right here when he stops at Academy Sports. Good job, police. So, let's see here, find my spot again. So pulled behind Academy Sports in Flowwood there. Pearl police officer pulled in where the vehicle had stopped, exited his patrol car, and held Irwin at gunpoint, ordering him to exit the vehicle. Irwin did not comply. There's that word we talk about a lot here. Did not comply. And man, you could imagine how much of this nonsense wouldn't happen if you fools would just comply. Anyway, he backed up his vehicle and sped back onto Flowwood Drive. Flowwood officers continued the pursuit a short distance when Irwin struck a motorcycle at the intersection of Old Fannin Road and Flowwood Drive. The driver of the motorcycle was seriously injured and transported to the Merritt Health Hospital in Flowwood, where he died. Rankin County Coroner David Ruth will release the victim's identity, which has already been released. So if you're familiar with that area, Pearl police did what they were supposed to do. They got there. He got out of the vehicle. They pulled the gun. Now, why they didn't shoot him, I don't know. Maybe it was too crowded of an area, whatever. That's not for me to decide. He got back in his car, and this wreck happened right behind where Academy Sports is. This wasn't no long, drawn-out, multi-jurisdictional, outside of from Pearl to Flowwood, no multi-jurisdictional pursuit. They had him stopped. He got back in his vehicle, got a block away, and ran over and killed a man. I think Pearl's 100% in the clear here. That's just my personal opinion. But, hey, y'all know me. I'm going to always err on the side of the police when it comes to this kind of stuff. There's enough jacklegs out there that'll play both sides against the middle and try to be anti-cop and try to be woke and try to be all this. I've learned it's just a lot easier to speak how I feel and be very consistent. Being consistent shouldn't be difficult. It should be the easy thing to do. So that's my opinion on it. All right, look, we're going to take our first break here. I appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. We got Ivana Williams, and I think Ashley Jones is going to be shortly behind. And we should have them on the air here in just a few minutes. You can tune in live on WYAB.com or the TuneIn app at WYAB. We were streaming live on the Save Jackson Facebook page, and we're about to cut that off, so it's going to be radio and streaming only. We'll be right back on 103.9 WYAB. Say, man, welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. Y'all going to get one more segment with just me while all the guests get here. Quick change, though. Ashley Jones will not be in the studio. She will be calling in, so just if any of you stalkers were going to show up, she's not here. I kid. We love y'all. Hey, this segment is going to be brought to you by, how about Raymond Farmers Market? They open back up today every Tuesday through Saturday right out there in, you guessed it, Raymond, Mississippi, right across from Hines Community College at 205 Hines Boulevard. Look, they're open for lunch and dinner, and of course they do have the farmers market. So if you need any fresh vegetables or anything like that, man, go out and see Will and Holly and the family over there at Raymond Farmers Market for lunch or dinner. Check it out. They had the regular menu on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then Thursday is barbecue. They have a ton of amazing barbecue, ribs, pulled pork, brisket, the whole 9 yards. Fridays is catfish night. Saturdays is steak night, and they've got the 10-ounce filet, the 16-ounce ribeye. And, of course, the 3-pound tomahawk, big as your head, big enough to feed 3, comes out on a cutting board, chopping block size ribeye, tomahawk. Anyway, if you'll tell them that you heard it on the Clay Edwards Show or even WYAB at any time, you're going to get a free dessert with your food. Now, I'm going to be honest. They send you out so much food, you may not have room for dessert, but you can always get it to go. But look, I'll be honest. It doesn't matter how full I am. If you put a free dessert in front of me, I'm going to find extra room. That's why I'm big and beautiful and not slim and not beautiful. Not slim and beautiful. Anyway, bad joke there. But check them out, RaymondFarmersMarket.com, or go search them on Facebook at Raymond Farmers Market. They're very active on social media. Lots of pictures, so you know what the food's supposed to look like when you get there because they've got pictures of it all over the place. And they sell a lot of locally sourced genuine MS stuff as well. So they even got the tags to prove it. So it's a good deal. I got the text that I was telling y'all about. My buddy texted me, and I'm not going to tell you his name. I mean, try to keep that kind of stuff private, but this is a text from a friend of mine. He is a Jackson business owner, been in Jackson at least 30 years. I think that's at least between him and his dad, longer than that, I'm sure. They're right down there, close to the Jackson Mall, we'll say. And, that's not a great area, but they've stuck it out. When everybody else said, if you don't like it, leave, they've stayed in one of the worst areas in Jackson. Here's what text I got from him yesterday. It said, dude, I got hit by a car today in Jackson. The officer barely put any info on the police report. I gave her his social, and she said she didn't need it, that the driver's license number was enough, and had like 10 witnesses. But she couldn't go after him until I go to the precinct tomorrow and sign charges. Then she didn't know who I was, but kept telling me over and over, Jackson is dangerous. She's been a cop for 15 years. She told me 10 different times to stay out of Jackson because I could have been killed. Getting the side of my body swiped and my foot run over is nothing for Jackson. Last thing she said was, stay out of Jackson. These folks will kill you. Now, I don't know about all the ins and outs of the actual policing side of that conversation, about going to the precinct and all that, but when a cop tells you to stay out of here, these folks will kill you. Again, you listen to people when they tell you stuff like this. I'm not calling, I know I said don't listen, I know I said listen to crazy people, but when people of authority tell you that these folks will kill you, they will kill you. I mean, I can pull up the WLBT murder map or murder tracker right now, and I don't think anybody will argue that these folks will kill you. Now, I know there's an argument to be made for it being interpersonal drama, but y'all know dang well there's a lot of senseless violence, and a lot of these people did not know they're killers. And by the way, Jackson is sitting at 87 homicides right now. 87. All right, man, on the Matt Kike of Flowwood phone line, we've got Derek. Good morning, brother.
Hey, good morning. Beware, brother. This is about to be an angry rant to that letter about that officer.
I like it.
That officer should have never even been there. And I'm going to say this, I don't give a flip who gets mad. That probably was an affirmative action hire, and as an example of why affirmative action is a terrible thing.
A diversity hire? Be a bad thing?
Why it is a bad thing.
I'm being facetious. Go ahead.
And that probably was a female officer too, wasn't it?
Yes.
That makes it even worse. Now, I was asked yesterday by someone acquaintance of mine. It was like, did I have to go through psych eval? I was like, first of all, in the 2000s, the last of the golden age, we had to go through psych evals, extended background checks, written tests, polygraph exams, everything. We're not doing this with these folks nowadays. You're just giving a person a paycheck. Okay? You got to want to do this thing. And Clay, I support an organization that I'm not going to say on the air because I don't speak for them, as my volunteer stuff. Okay? And I find that double offensive that this officer did this. Okay, yeah, maybe the city is dangerous, but you shouldn't be talking to a client about that. You should be answering their concerns, not trying to make excuses as to why you don't want to. That's what it sounds like to me.
I'll tell you what, you should see this other email. Text me your email address, and I'm going to forward you the text from an email. And I will read it on air, but it's a bit long-winded, and I don't think I'll have time today. But it was a very similar situation. A guy who drives Uber and didn't get carjacked, but picked up a girl, took her from a hotel, took her to a gas station. While she was in the gas station, a guy jumped in, robs him. She comes back out. She goes, "What was that guy doing in the truck?" And he says, "I just got robbed." She goes, "How many people is he going to rob at this gas station?" Apparently it's a trend. And he's like, "Man, I never Uber in Jackson, but I was on my way, blah, blah, blah." You know, the one time he did it, he gets robbed. And he takes her back to the hotel. He calls the cops. The cops come to the hotel and say, "Well, you'll need to go up." He said he leaned on the cop's car, you know, just like because she was in the car and he was like or the cop, I don't know if it was male or female, but the cop was in the car. He kind of leans over it to talk, and the cop flips out about his body touching the car because of COVID. Made it a point. COVID, get away from my car. COVID. We have police out there on the streets of Jackson scared of COVID still.
Clay, I'm going to say it so you don't have to. They're not fit, okay? Anytime you take 30 people to a JPD academy, all of them graduate, something bad wrong. Now, as much as I didn't like about Tony Yarborough, that's the smartest thing he did when he was in office, was start to send them recruits to Malota. They sent 50 people there. I mean, like 40-some people there. Only 10 of them graduate. That's progress, my friend. That's great. You understand? But this shit, I'm sorry, this crap show they got going on now, they just going plain loco. And you just giving people the job because your feelings, because you feel like they deserve an opportunity. No, they should earn it. Stop complaining about cultural bias and systemic racism in testing and start back giving people the cotton picking test. I had no problem taking them. I've had to compete for technology jobs against people from East India who had more degrees than I did. But I would blow those IT tests out of the water.
Now, I'll say this. I mean, sitting in the studio next to me is a female cop. Well, I won't say who she works for. Female cop. She went through Malota. Was it hard? I didn't got a hold. Let me turn the mic on here. Hey, you're on there.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you had to go. You went through hell out there.
Oh yeah. Back then it was 10 weeks. Now it's 12 weeks if they don't have any type of COVID problem.
Oh, where's my manners, Clay? I'm sorry. Who sister, class 197 here.
What year?
197, class 197.
238.
Hoorah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, yeah, look, I've got Ivana Williams in the studio. After this break, she's going to come on and we're going to talk. She's not here in an official capacity or nothing like that. We're here to talk about some other stuff. But I did find it, kind of opportune to have the conversation because there's something going on in Jackson with these cops. I mean, I get, man, they're overwhelmed. But when I hear stories about a cop flipping out, about somebody leaning on their car to have a conversation because they're worried about COVID, man, I'm way more worried about a stray bullet in Jackson than I am COVID.
You know why Hattiesburg has such a good police department, a great police department, Clay? Because they recruit all over the state. That was started with Johnny Dupree. So when you're recruiting from the very same people, when your recruiting pool is from the same people that you're trying to protect the city from, this is the result.
Yeah,
when you complained about systemic racism and cultural bias in testing, and you did away with the test, this is the trash that comes with it.
Yeah,
along with the cops who abuse authority. People complain all the time, oh, police do this, they police brutality. Well, when you complain about standards, guess what else slipped through the cracks? Those people did.
Well, I always thought it was a good idea to police in your own community, but maybe you do need to have people from outside the community because I don't know that everybody needs a personal relationship with law enforcement.
Oh, I agree. I mean, of course I agree. But what I'm saying is if you relax the standards, that people that that don't want to be there, that really don't want to be there and shouldn't be there, they're just getting a paycheck, they slip through.
No, yeah. I mean, if you want to be here, be here. If you don't. I agree 100%. All right, brother, I got to take a break, man. Thank you for calling in this morning, Derek.
Uh-huh.
All right. I tell you what, we got one more caller that's been on hold. Let's take this call before we go to a break. On the Matt Kike and Flowwood phone line. Hey, you're on there.
Hey, good morning. This is Sylvia.
I thought so.
Because I know you're going to a break.
Mm-hmm.
I am a rideshare driver. I hate having to go to Jackson, any part of Jackson, any time of the day. And what's unfortunate is that when I pick up someone from the airport or the train, bus station, that type of thing, I tell them, do not go walking around Jackson at night. I don't care if you have 7 people with you. Do not go walking around Jackson at night. And they are surprised. I said, the city is violent. At this time, it was 86 or 85, 84, how many murders I would tell them that were taking place in Jackson. Now we're up to 87, so now I can have to remember to tell them that. And I will not wait if for anyone in the hotel or at home more than 5 minutes, because I'm always looking around to see, okay, who's around the vehicle. Make sure you're aware of what's going on. Don't just not pay attention. But I still feel that Jackson is a violent city, and I don't like that city, and it's sad because it's our capital state. I mean, it's our capital city of the state. And that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much this morning, Sylvia. Have a blessed day.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, and before I go to break, real quick, in closing on the conversation about the rideshare driver getting robbed, they're at the hotel. So after he gets off the cop's car because they're scared of COVID, the cop tells him he needs to go up to the woman's hotel room door and knock on it and get as much information as he can about the guy, because she said she knew where the guy stayed at, basically. And that he had done it a couple times. He's like, so you want me to do your investigation for you? He's like, yes. He's like, okay. He went up there. He did that. He comes back down. He's like, can we go back down here and see if the gas station has any camera footage or anything like that? He goes, you can go down there. If you find the guy, confront him. And the cop wanted nothing to do with it. Now, this is alleged. I'm getting this from a third person, but I have no reason not to believe him. I mean, frankly, it just seems par for the course for Jackson. Folks, if you ain't got no business in Jacktown, stay out of Jacktown. I'm telling you, if you're these rideshare drivers, it ain't worth it. It's just not worth it. I mean, especially in that Highway 80 corridor. And you know the hot spots. You know what I'm talking about. All right, look, man, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with Ivana Williams, and we're waiting on the rest of our guests, but I'm not going to leave Ivana waiting. She's got good stuff to talk about. Always enjoy our conversations. And we'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Breaking rules when necessary. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. I want to thank the ladies with the Sippy Girls for joining this morning. I enjoyed that conversation. I wanted to kind of help them kickstart their plan. I just think it's great what they're doing, and not all the way ready to go yet, but I figured the sooner you folks find out, the better, and maybe y'all find it in your heart to get in touch with them and help them with some hunting trips. All right, that podcast, we'll cut that up, and that'll be available here shortly. And this segment is going to be brought to you by Acme Pizza and Daiquiris, located right out there at Fannin Mart on the reservoir. That's right. Chip Matthews has got another place. The legendary nightclub owner and restaurateur himself has opened up a new pizza place right out there at Fannin Mart. And, man, I'm telling you, they have 12 different specialty pizzas, such as the Pig, the Hawaiian, the Black and Blue, and what has apparently become a favorite amongst people, even within my circle of friends, the Wheel of Flavor. You can pick any 3 of the 12 specialty pizzas and put them on one pizza, so you have some variety. And, of course, you can build your own. If you're like me, I just like extra cheese and Canadian bacon. That's all I want. And they can do that for you as well. So you don't have to do all the crazy stuff. They do have the regulars. But, hey, say pizza's not your flair, they have deep-fried pizza. They have sliders. They have pulled pork. They have nachos. They have fried cheese. They have their legendary, and the Chips had these things at several of his restaurants. They're called dynamite balls, and it's deep fried pulled pork with cream cheese and like a little barbecue sauce on it. They're awesome. It's an appetizer, or it can be a full meal if you want them to be. But check them out. They open daily at 4 p.m. right there at Fannin Mart. Available on all your favorite food delivery apps. Acme Pizza and Daiquiris. All right, so back to the madness. We've talked about this morning the Pearl Police pursuit, and that's now two of the most recent pursuits ended in death because a criminal chose to not pull over and decided to hit the gas and kill an innocent person. This is not the police's fault. The police did not ask this person to break the law. They tried to pull them over for breaking the law. That person chose to punch that gas instead of that brake, and they went out there, and now they're murderers. They went from quote unquote minor violations to being murderers. And I'm sick and dang tired of you people They get mad about the police doing these things. So the rest of the statement from the Pearl Police Department is, and I didn't read this in the original statement. It says, after he was taken into custody, this is Ryan Irwin, a.k.a. Storm, the guy with the Mike Tyson tattoo on his face, who I even saw tattoo artists making fun of this guy, and they never make fun of people for tattoos. So it was funny. But anyway, it says, after he was taken into custody, officers found Irwin was driving with a suspended license, no insurance, and has felony convictions at the federal and state levels. And the Mississippi Highway Patrol is leading up the investigation and reconstruction of the accident. So, of course, that prompted one of the local news channels and some state legislatures to, let's see here, the story is, legislatures willing to re-examine hot pursuit law in wake of recent deadly accidents. I have not even listened to this yet. This is on WLBT.com. We're going to listen to this together for the first time.
Our team coverage with details on how the state is taking a closer look at the hot pursuit policies.
They are, Holly. The state law leaves all the details up to the locals. But this isn't the first time that pursuits have ended in a deadly crash and called people's attention to that law.
A change needs to occur. I mean, we are losing too many lives as a result of police pursuits.
Mississippi Code Section 45143 states that law enforcement agencies need to have a written policy on pursuits, and they should address crossover into other jurisdictions. Representative Chris Bell is one of a handful of lawmakers who has unsuccessfully tried to make it more specific in recent years, but he plans to try again in January.
I would love for the legislation to look like this next year. I
want to say this. This is Representative Chris Bell, a Democrat from Jackson, because, of course, Jackson loves their criminals. You cannot be pursuing our criminals.
Find solutions, training, provide more training for officers in police departments, provide money for new technology, advanced technology, and also have more common sense courses that speak to what you should pursue and what you shouldn't pursue.
I love hearing a guy that's not in law enforcement talk about what law enforcement training should do. Common sense training. Common sense was thrown out the door a long time ago in Hinds County. I'll let them finish.
To the law would likely move through the Judiciary B committees. So I reached out to the chairman of Jud B in both the House and Senate. Representative Nick Bain thinks one solution is raising the penalty for felony fleeing.
Right now, the penalty of that is 5 years. In the House, we voted last year and raised it up to 10 years. I think that's a way to maybe go at this issue that we're seeing in Jackson and in other parts of the state.
And Senator Joey Fillingane is open to conversations about amending the hot pursuit law.
We seem to be having more and more of these, not just in the metro, but all over the state, really. And it's certainly something that we would be open to having debates about, maybe having even a hearing from local law enforcement as to see what their appetite would be for wanting to partner with the state and trying to come up with a uniform regulation to address these types of things.
Most of the bills filed in recent years have proposed requiring the agencies to not only have the written policies, but to file them with the Office of Standards and Training that falls under the Department of Public Safety. Courtney.
So when I had Nick McClendon in here last week or so, police chief from Richland, Mississippi, that was one of the very things he brought up was making the penalty, the jail time, much more severe. It's 1 year. For eluding police. It's 1 year. So whether they have to chase you, I know that guy said 5 years. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but according to Nick, it's 1 year in jail for felony fleeing. Whether you go a block down the road or from the coast to South Haven, assuming you don't break any more laws in the process, doesn't matter how many jurisdictions you go through, it's still the same single felony fleeing charge. I think one thing that you could do is for every jurisdiction you go through, it escalates. So the further you go, the longer you stay. Or you just say, hey, if you hit that gas, 20 years, boom. And I started this, and I was we need to clear out. We need prison reform. I leaned more on the side of throwing everybody in a cage ain't going to do nothing for them. But, man, when we just threw people in cages for longer amounts of time, crime sure did appear to be a lot less, didn't it? I mean, I know there ain't a whole lot of reforming going on when people are in jail, but what we're doing right now ain't working. However you want to look at it. But I get a kick out of these folks talking about the police need some common sense training on pursuits. Well, I'm just curious, what is the common sense? Because it never fails that these fools are always breaking a bigger law than just the minor traffic violation. They're turning a minor traffic violation into a felony fleeing because they're in the act of committing another felony at the same time that they're trying to not get in trouble for. Why is that so hard to understand? Let's take a call here on the Matt Hike of Flowwood phone line. Hey, caller, you're on there.
Hey, Clay, it's Ready Teddy. What's up, man?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good. I was just curious. Did the representative from Jackson, has he offered any insight or legislation on getting the murders down in Jackson to get those guys to quit killing each other?
Probably not. Hey, turn your radio down, Teddy.
Oh, my bad. I'm in All right.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he hasn't. Yeah, I mean, I never heard of this guy.
Well, I mean, another thing is, man, at what point, instead of felony fleeing, you could just make an attempted murder. I mean, the charge, just.
I mean, because you basically turned your vehicle into a missile.
Right, and what happens. Laws like that aren't really, addressed heavily enough, and I'm with you on the over incarceration thing is abused too much. But when it starts talking about doing damage to other people and individuals and hurting people, those laws need to be tougher. And felony fleeing is one of those things that a slap on the wrist is not enough for that. So the same people do it over and over.
Oh yeah, I mean, this guy that killed the guy Sunday night, this was not his first rodeo from running from the cops. Within the same week, my understanding.
Well,
it's just
it's crazy that people want to make the police the problem when all they're trying to do is their job and keep everybody safe.
I saw some. Rarely do I reply to people's comments on like WLBT's Facebook page. Like I'll just read stupid stuff and go on about my business. But some lady was making the case for now the Pearl police have now killed 2 people. The blood is on their hands. Blah blah blah. And I said, I would much rather live with the danger of being accidentally killed in a police pursuit than also having that danger in Jackson on top of the danger of being killed by a violent criminal. Like I would much rather know that I'm being protected if I die, quote unquote, in the line of duty, because a cop's chasing somebody to make my hometown safer. I feel a lot better knowing that I didn't die in vain than if I'm sitting at a Jackson gas station and catch one to the head, just doing nothing. I hope I'm making that make sense. I guess my point being, you have a lot lower chance of being killed in a high speed pursuit like that than you do just on a regular day in Jackson doing anything.
Yeah, this is what's getting all the attention versus what's happening daily in Jackson.
Yeah, it's no different than making this big fuss about the transgender stuff and them trying to fight over bathrooms and this, that, and the other. We're catering to something that's such a small, minute minority is overwhelming the system. Thanks, Teddy. Let me say this real quick. We're taking these little isolated incidents. It's like the black guy getting killed by the cops getting caught on video stuff, and we're taking that and we're saying that is painting a picture of the entire situation. That every incident is like that, when that's just not the case. That is just not the case. Look, we got to take a break. I know I got a couple people on hold here on the Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line. Stay on hold, and I'm coming straight back to you on 103.9 WYAB. Necessary. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. This segment is going to be brought to you by Complete Exteriors Roofing and Gutters. Complete Exteriors Roofing and Gutters in Pearl wants to help you determine who to use when you are seeking a roof repair, or work on your gutters, you need to choose a qualified, certified company that has been in business for longer than 2 years and a company that offers a warranty. Complete Exteriors has a 4.9 Google review and has been in business for over 16 years, folks. Complete Exteriors, roofing and gutters can provide you with a professional and honest look at your roof and gutters. Complete Exteriors, quality without compromise. When you want someone you can trust, contact CompleteExteriorsMS.com. All right, on the Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line, we got a couple callers that have been sitting on hold. Hey, you're on there? Hey. Hey, not sure what's going on with your phone, but I cannot hear a word you're saying. I'm going to put you back on hold, see if maybe switch off Bluetooth or something. All right. Hey, caller, you're on there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Y'all, people are jumping up and down about this. Dude, it's really sad. But that dude wasn't nothing but a thug in the first place to want to Flowood. But y'all act like Pearl's this great, unsafe. I mean, this place is just the safest place. Pearl ain't nothing but the slums, dude. That's all it's been for 30 years. They got more. That part of crime, they're just as bad as Jackson, if you want to know the truth, with all the drug problems and everything they have. And you know it. You got that one area in the corner that they built around Bass Pro Shops and Outlet, but the rest of it's just nothing but meth havens, and you know that.
What are you talking about? Pearl is the pearl of the South.
Shit, the pearl of freaking toilet bowl or something.
Gotta go. Can't cuss.
Did I?
Why do people cuss on the radio? Hey, caller, you're on there? Hello?
Hey, Clay, how you doing this morning?
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, but so you did say that they chased him once before, right? Not too long ago.
In the previous weeks, they had hold on, let me pull my text up here. It says Storm ran from several different agencies in the past few weeks and had been around for years as a criminal, which we all know that.
So when they had stopped and possibly throw some spice chips up on the side.
I can't, Chris. Are you talking through an aluminum can this morning?
I said, no, how about now? Can you hear me?
I can now.
I said, when they had them stop, how come they didn't box them in? I mean, I'm pretty sure more than one, when they had the gun drawn on them, more than one they pulled in front of them. How come one they pulled in front, one they pulled in back, and boxed them in and threw spice chips up on his tires?
Well, I mean, I guess they should have just shot him in the leg.
I shot the tires out. I mean,
come on, man. This ain't Dukes of Hazzard. You can't go shooting tires out in the Academy Sports parking lot.
I thought they were the back of sports parking lot.
It said Academy Sports parking lot. Either way, you can't go shooting tires out in a retail area. Anything can happen. I mean, I know that worst case scenario ended up happening when he pulled out of there, but you can't go shooting. I mean, unless it's absolute life or death, they can't just start shooting this guy.
Well, they could at least throw some spice strips up on his tires since they know he's a person who like to run. They could trash though.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
And hey, now you drop him soon when he cuts, but Derek cuts twice and didn't get dropped.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear Derek cuss twice?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Have a good one.
Right. Yeah, let me clear this up real quick. I'm about to start banning everybody that if you swear on here. We have too many repeat offenders. If I love y'all calling, I love talking to y'all, but if you can't get through a 60-second phone conversation on the radio without cussing, I don't care what it is, don't call. Really. All right, on the Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line. Hey, you're on there?
I've got the perfect solution. We should hire Chris to run everything. He has all the answers. I guarantee it would take but 3 days for him to run everything, and it would just be a total crap show.
He could do it by lunch on day one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he is so full of answers and will not listen to anybody else's opinion. He don't need ESPN. He don't need anything. He's put on a super tape and just take off.
And you know what's funny is he claims that he's not a Democrat or Republican. He's a libertarian. Or he's an independent, should I say? A lot of black Democrats are suddenly independents, aren't they? After voting for Joe Biden and what a horrible job he's done. Oh, I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. Oh, you learned a new word because you're embarrassed of how bad Joe Biden's been.
It's kind of like everybody's a Saints fan until they have a bad season.
That's it.
Have a good one.
You too, brother. All right. Yeah, man. Come on. You're not an independent. You're a dang Democrat. I like Chris. We've been friends on social media for a long time, too. I think he's a good dude. But we don't agree on this. We just don't agree on this at all. All right, man, let's do this. Let's take a break so I can come back and actually have more than 2 minutes to end the show. I got some stuff I want to talk about. It's going to take longer. You're listening to the Clay Edwards Show. Shoot in a text. I'll tell you what, we're going to read some text, too, from the Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Breaking all the rules. Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show. Oh, man, let's tell you what. Let's read some of the text off the Guns and Gear text line. Rick texts in, says, pit them sooner if possible. Then he says, well, scrap that last text. We need to get rid of the DA and get one that's not owned by Soros. Says, sorry, I forgot people in Chris's circle already running things. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. You know, speaking of the pitting sooner, Pearl just got the new front bumpers on some of their cruisers. I don't know if they got them all or not or whatever, but they're transitioning to them, the bumpers, so they can pit the cars. But obviously, look, I've never had to pursue and pit a car. You have to get into that situation. You have to get close enough at a speed that you can do it. So in a high-speed pursuit, you know, I don't know. Well, I'll have to get somebody that knows better. Maybe we can get Nick McClendon back on here to ask him what the process to pitting is, or maybe that's something the police don't want to share with the public. Maybe we can find it on YouTube. Let's see here. Chris texts in and says he did not vote for Joe Biden. I call shenanigans. And Rick said he loves the text line. I can't imagine how much your phone blows up. It vibrates about a whole battery each show. Kevin texts in and says the leaders of Jackson wake up and eat a bowl of stupid every day. And that may be text of the year. I may screenshot that one and put it in the bowl over here. Let's see here. Somebody texts in and says, bring back road crews and rock piles. 3 hots and a cot and TV and a weight room needs to stop. Absolutely. Let's see here. I got a Josh text in, my buddy out in Pearl. And he had a pretty decent idea, I think. He says, how about change it to deadly force expected if you run? Put out an alert to all motorists to stop, pull over, seek protected place, just like an Amber Alert on your phone. Now, look, in theory, I think that is an awesome idea. In practicality, I don't know how quick you can get one issued out. You know what the process to issue one is, like from the fact that somebody on the scene says go, and how quick it can get out to the statewide Amber Alert. So that. Or that line. I don't know. I like the idea, though. I really do. But a lot of times, you know, we've talked about this before, these pursuits are done and over with within 2 to 5 minutes. They're not long, drawn-out ordeals. When you're going 100 miles an hour down the interstate, you make a lot of ground pretty quick. And sometimes maybe they do. Let's see here. Sean says, guess we've been policing wrong all along. Heck, Chris and Thomas need to head up a Citizens Police Academy and help JPD and surrounding agencies. I'd pay to see it. Let's see. It says the real problem is lack of home training, not police training. We'll say it louder for the people in the back. Say it louder for the people in the back. Okay, so I'm getting back into the first hour of the show here a little bit, but it says if you handcuff the few police you lose, and if you handcuff the few police, you loosen more criminals. If black people want to see more crime in Richland, Pearl, Ridgeland, Brandon, then let the state pass a law restricting police pursuits. You will get your wish. No standards, no quality, low standards, low quality. What is the common factor? Trash. I don't understand. Why is it? Now, I know nobody from any singular race speaks for anybody of another race, or speaks for a whole race, should I say. But, man, it sure is a lot of black folks that are up in arms about these police pursuits. You know, I was talking to a buddy of mine, Michael, yesterday, and we were talking about these chases. And look, I'm just going to say it because y'all know it's true. If the 2 people that have been killed were black, it would be an absolute meltdown for the ages. They would have every lawyer from across the country here protesting. You'd had the Black Lives Matter crowd out, the whole 9 yards. You know, the fact that we've already got state legislatures talking about wanting to change the pursuit, it ain't going to happen. But I mean, they need to change it for the worse. I mean, for the worse on the criminals, not for the worse on citizens. People need to know, and they need to put a big marketing campaign behind it, letting folks know, hey, man, if you run 25 years mandatory or whatever the number is. You know, of course, people that run think they can get away. So they're not going to – we're talking about stupid criminals here. So you can change all the – people know that you go to life for murder, and they still do that. You go to prison for life for murder, except in Hinds County, of course, as long as you're not a cop. Let's see here. Let's see. What time do they have council meetings? Can Tate call a special session to address Jackson infrastructure? I'm not sure what time the council meetings are. Somebody texted in and said at least they got the illegal tent off the streets. They only killed one person. Doing great. Great job, Pearl. So I read somebody's negative comment. All right, look, man, great show today. Enjoyed it. We were a little all over the place. Thanks to the ladies with the Sippy Girls coming in. Podcast will be available here shortly. Mike Madison up next. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Thanks for listening. Tune in tomorrow at 7 a.m. as the Clay Edwards Show discusses all that is going on in and around the city of Jackson.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Right here on 103.9 WYAB.